Hello and welcome to Overthought Gaming. I figured I'd bring back an old video here I had lying around my, Forza 4 replay camera. This is a race with the FailRace crew back quite a few months ago, when I was still fairly active with them. Now it's not quite so much, but this is one of their FailRace versus the community moments. I'm here in my Warfish Barracuda, ironically painted by one of the guys I did quite a lot of tuning work for, and, well, it's off to the races. It was American versus Japanese cars. I was showing off the old American muscle cars with the old Barracuda. And as you can tell, I got a nice launch out of the hole. Well, at least in the first couple corners. Let's be honest here, this car had very little in forms of aero. This thing was all power. This thing was mostly power, bit of handling, and a lot of straight line speed. Or what I hope would be straight line speed, as my back end slides out a little wide. But as you can tell, I did have some fairly good competition from the MR2 behind me. That thing was a little annoying. I want to say pissant, but that'd be a little too mean of me, but you get my point. Just right there, always behind me, if you can't tell, with boost. I'm running a fully naturally aspirated Barracuda here. This thing had to move. May have not been quick in the corners, but man, I could shoot down the straightaways like nothing else. As we come around to start the first lap, I still managed to hold on to first place. Though, a little freight train behind me. Thankfully, I had the straight line speed. I missed the sound of this car. As we come into the first couple, as we go through the first couple corners again, myself, the Barracuda, and the new Boss Mustang. And I'm still, well, holding him up. As I get a little out of shape out of that last corner there. Into another one of the hairpins. Got a little too much of the curb, as you can see, get a little out of shape, but not as bad as the MR2. This Cuda is actually very surprisingly stable. Even though I was having to drive a bit like a madman to get down the track for an aerodynamic brick. Through the S's on Motegi East. And I'm starting to stretch out my lead. This thing might be all straight line speed, but doesn't mean this thing can't turn a corner when I get in the right gear. This thing really didn't care. I really was pushing this thing wide on the corners. And back there in the, well, let's see if we can get another shot of him without me having to randomly switch the camera. And it's not, yep, just saw him back in the C2 Corvette. That was one of the guys at FailRace, trying to chase down the Boss Mustang. And well, I'll just link it to his portion of it. It'll be safer than me trying to, cut around and do some weird, funky jumps to get his version of the story. This is my race. This is what I ran. This is what I do well, on occasion. Oh, and big slide. A little too much of the Wii factor got dialed in on that corner. But still managed to keep it in shape. The Wii factor is a constant worry in this car's act. It's a little too much power into the corner, and you're coming, sideways out of it. As you can't tell, I'm having to use just a tad bit opposite lock on some of these corners going through them, just to help keep the car straight. You should also notice, a lot of the corners I come out of, I'm also using opposite lock. Just my driving style, I tend to drive the car about 10% sideways, and it seems to work for me. I'd say it's 10%, might be more, might be less. That's my driving style, and it just works. Got a nice about 100-meter gap on the guy. Now probably more like 50, but that's still a little too close to my own comfort level. Just gonna starting to spread out just a little bit here as the Boss Mustang gets a lot of shape on that last corner. From here on out, it pretty much does turn into a same old, same old. I go around the track with, well, not very many issues now that the tires are warmed up. Because this car really did rely on the tires just being right there and warm. I could drive this thing like a maniac on cold tires. But this thing, it needed those tires nice and hot, and as you can see, oh, it's become a lot more stable, and I'm pushing a lot harder and actually having to steer towards the outside of the corner on exit. Just to try and get to take the line I want. A little flick of the tail again, and off we go. Back down towards the S's. Gets a little out of shape out of that corner, which always happened, and this thing did have, I think, at least 400 horsepower, if not more. And most of that was in torque. Yep, you can see me just fighting the back end through that last corner there. Round, and back down the street. And Alex and one of the other guys caught up as the Boss Mustang drops into their position and down back there. But I could not shake that MR2. That guy was quick. You'd think a nice little Japanese track like this would really favor the Japanese cars with the tight corners and whatnot, but this little Barracuda just kept going. It didn't care, it just went. Power, plenty of power. As you can see, I'm starting to get about 2 corner gap on him through the tight S's at the start of the race, or start of the track. And my line's just becoming ever more steady. I really do wish I was able to put this car up for sale in this game when it was still popular, because this thing has been an amazing car to run when I haven't recorded or even looked at the replays of. It's been just a great fun game, and a great fun car, can't complain. As you can see, it just goes around, keeps going. And oh, look at the body lean. And big slide from the MR2. And what lap are we on? Oh, I guess we'll find out here shortly. I mean, even with the big slide, that MR2 is not far behind. And the NSX and the Corvette changed places again. Sounds of more V8 muscle. You can hear the cars on the other side of the track. Oh, yeah. Apparently there's still more laps, because I really have lost count. I don't know what else to say about this car. It was fun, it was fast, it was just a great car to run. I mean, yeah, did I have to lead the entire race? Yeah, sadly. Would have been more fun if I was doing more battling for it, but considering how hard I was having to push this car to keep in front of that MR2, I'm still really proud of it. He gained a little ground on me that last lap because I was just taking a little too easy, and well, I need to put the power down. It moves. I'll go into the details later about the car, but it was a really nice thing to drive. Can't complain about that. And I really do miss these days. Just fun cars to drive, good people to race against. And who would have thought an old, mid-60s muscle car with, okay, yeah, probably well over 400 horsepower, I'm going to be honest on that, would be able to really just outplay a little Japanese car with half the horsepower and probably about half the weight. Around the final corner yet again. A nice shot down towards the finish line. With yet... wow, another lap to go. Who would have thought? I have way too many laps. I wish I got a little more time in that tunnel. This thing just sounds mean. But just as you can tell, the MR2 has caught up to me a little bit as I start to relax a little bit. And I just started to drive the wheels off this thing. I'm still amazed I could hold this thing tight around some of these corners than an MR2 could. Yeah, the guy said this thing just shot away in a straight line, but it's like missed the brake, missed the apex, and power. Power is good. Oop, screen dipping on me. If you'll just pardon me for that, I forgot to wiggle the joystick a little. I mean, we've got to be getting down to like the last lap or so, and it's just hell to see if I can keep him behind me and me going fast. And made a few mistakes in the last little bit. And I really do think this is the last lap. I really think so. And nope. I mean, this poor car just kept. Well, I really did feel this race was long because it was constant pressure from that guy. And if I let up for a moment, I knew it would catch me. Though now having about 2-track gap on him did help. And oh, nope, that was the last lap. Alright, and we're back. Quick look at the car I was using. Besides this thing's decked out in group Skunkworks logos and all sorts of Mopar. Well, I was right. This thing did have over 400 horsepower. Had a shade over 460. I mean, 560. Weighed just a shade under 3,000 pounds and was, well, pushing a lot of power. Here's its handling stats just for some good measurements. It really was just a beast of a car to run. Great car, great fun. May not be the best around a corner, but just fun to go in a straight line. Anyways, thanks for watching Overthought Gaming.